I got 20 years on you. I've been doing this for a long time.
I know most French technique is holding a white flag and grabbing cheese and running. But they are good at cooking.
Have you ever worked front of house?
Yeah. Not nice, that's why I don't do it.
It's got a face in front of house, but not an attitude.
No.
I think that if we didn't do it for the love of the game, we would have left a long time ago.
Always be humble, always work together.
Let me think about this.
Good
There's always this moment.
Good thing we edited this out.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Hey guys, and thanks for joining us for an episode of More Salt. Today I'm joined by my good friends as always, Chef Joe, Culinary, and today the executive chef of Community Beer Company in Dallas, Robert.
Yep.
Chef
How are you, buddy?
Going.
Yeah?
Going.
How long have you been the executive chef now?
A little over a year. Unofficially over a year, officially a year.
Has not hung himself in the walk-in yet.
So proud of you.
Hey, we're making
Thought
it.
about it sometimes.
That was a rough transition. A little bit?
Yeah. That was pretty rough, yeah.
Yeah. Because you just kind of got thrust into that.
Yeah. A lot of fixes. A lot of fixes and a lot of making a team.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do either.
No.
That's
Yeah,
not
team
not
building
easy.
is important.
Yeah.
I didn't learn that till later on. Team building is important.
Especially it's like the whole contrast of AM PM.
Yeah. There's always that. And there's always that weird, like power struggle, that tug of war between AM and PM.
Oh, yeah.
Closing and opening. I don't know why. It's like it's since the beginning of time.
Have you ever gotten mad at yourself on a opening where like you close and you open the next day and you're like, "Who's the fucking idiot who?" Oh, I am.
Oh, yeah, definitely been there before. Oh, yeah.
It's like I could have fucking done this last night and I gotta fucking do it now.
Was that something that you were able to sort of fix, like that whole like
The dynamic?
rivalry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that dynamic.
No,
I guess.
definitely.
How was that?
Oh, fired anybody that didn't listen.
Well, it's not just that. Then you got to do the interviews, which I'm in the process of doing right now. And it's just going back to that synergy, if you will, and that team building. It is tough because you can lie straight to my face. That's why I think staging is important.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
always stand by that.
Well, I guess me and Alex are the only two I know of that staged. That didn't just
Yeah,
like,
we
show
made
up.
it.
Did Kayla? Yeah, she did. She did.
The people that I have now have been there since the get-go. And at least all of them have started from the ground up, from like basic prep to now
Amateur line cooks.
amateur line cook. One of my guys who started as dish and eventually turned into my all-arounder, can do any station, but he can damn do everything and doesn't need any help, and he's a good trainer too.
Hell yeah.
So we got a few people that have, I would say the last few hires that I got on, no fucking experience. Green as shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing, too. A lot of warehouse workers. Like,
Yeah.
all resumes just warehouse.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing a lot
But you
of.
got to give those people a chance too. Those people,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
like, hey,
absolutely.
like, they're looking for something. They're looking for a new path, like whatever it was. If they're coming for something completely different, then like they've gone to that point where it's like, okay, you know what? I'll go work in a kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's sort of what kitchens are sort of known for. We take the,
Undesirables. The train with square wheels.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and my thing, too, is like the first question I ask them, like, are you in it because you love to cook, or are you in it because you want a paycheck? And either or, I don't care.
Right.
Like, if you come in and you work,
if you're about the money,
I don't care.
All right, you're a mercenary. I got it.
Yeah.
Like you're here for the money and you do your job well. And
Exactly.
I can respect that.
but
You
if
know?
But if they don't do it well, you're here for a paycheck, but you're not doing it great.
if you're trainable, that's one too.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you teachable?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, okay, everyone is coachable. Everyone has their good weaknesses. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, yeah.
And you focus on which is better and which is not. So at that point, do you keep trying and trying and trying? Because I had a guy that literally tried every damn station, even dishwasher, great at it. But as a dependable, trainable person, no. Like, you tell him anything, immediate excuse.
Yeah. No, I
Show
see
him
what you're
something,
saying.
it's not my fault. Like,
No accountability.
none, dude.
And you can't teach that. That's the thing. You can't teach personality.
character.
Yeah.
You can't teach personality. Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me and say you woke up an hour and a half late because your girlfriend snoozed your phone. It's her fault. Really?
No.
Like, I woke up late. Like,
Oh, I'll own
I
my
wish
shit.
I would've let
I
me get
will
out of
text
bed.
my people. Was like, hey, I'll be the same time as you are, so we're all in this together.
Dude. The other day, just because we're talking, you brought up that. The other day, I got up for work. I called Anthony. I was like, hey, I'm on my way. And I spoke to him. He spoke words to me. I was like, cool. I'll see you soon. I get to work. A couple hours go by. I'm like, all right. You know, he definitely fell back asleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's happened.
Right? And so I'm not too worried about it.
You know he's alive.
My boss's like assistant came in and she was like, you know, checking on things, and I was like, hey, you haven't heard from him, have you? And she was like, no. I was like, oh, okay, you know. And she's like, you guys good on those BEOs for tomorrow? And I was like, yeah.
Did you know anything about them?
And she got up and left. I turned to my buddy. I said, go grab me those BEOs right now. And he went and grabbed it for me. It was nothing crazy. It was fine. But then, like, 2 o'clock rolls around. I still haven't heard from Anthony. I'm like, where is this motherfucker?
What time did you get to work?
I tried to call him. I got there at like 9 a.m.
Okay, so we're looking about 5 hours. Yeah, that's it.
Roundabout, yeah.
Yeah.
So I tried calling him several times, both from my cell phone and from the office phone. Can't get a hold of him. I tried having the supervisor under me call him. Can't get a hold of him. And now I'm getting like
nervous.
I'm a little like I've been annoyed now for a minute, but now I'm also getting concerned.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, dude, 3:30 p.m. rolls around, and I get a text that just says, dude.
Oh man.
And I was like, you fucking
Son of
shit.
Let me guess, you fell back asleep?
Yeah, he slept all day long, which, dude, I mean, if you're burning at both ends, like, I understood. It was
Right.
annoying. I had it covered, though. Like, it wasn't a big deal. I was just like, dude, how the
After a
fuck?
while, you got concerned. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I get it. If you called out because you're sick, you're throwing up, you're fucking hungover.
But he's my executive chef. What the fuck am I going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
There was that day you were still
I just
working
gave him
with us.
shit for it for a day, and then I was like, all right, we're good.
You were still working with us. There was that day where like I got up really early because my girlfriend at the time was staying with me and she was sick, and I got to like did some stuff for her and like did my laundry and stuff. Got to take care of her. Like sweet, and I sat on my couch to like watch TV for a little bit. And I was like, I'll watch this and I'll go to work. And then I wake up and my phone's going off, and you're like, Quaid, where the fuck are you? And I'm like an hour late, and I'm like, and I think my response was like, I will be there as soon as I can. I'm late because of who I am as a person. I think is what I said.
Something along those lines, yeah. Yeah. You didn't try to, like, make no bullshit up there. You're just like, dude, I suck. I'm sorry. And I was like, all right, you know, like, I'll take that, honestly. Like, I would sooner take, like, a, hey, I suck as a person
Right.
than some bullshit about, oh, my girlfriend snoozed my phone. Like, I don't fucking care.
I got another flat tire on the way into work, or
The worst one I had with Robert was I genuinely got held up behind a wreck for 2 hours. And he's sending me fucking memes the whole time that I'm stuck in traffic. And I'm just like, when I finally got up to where the wreck was, I was like, this motherfucker better be dead. Like, oh my god. And it was actually a pretty gnarly, like, 18-wheeler wreck. There was diesel all over the road. I actually nearly crashed as well.
oh, that's good.
It was
He
fine.
had a reasoning behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I just
was
like, I'm at this point. I already know he's annoyed that he's late, and I know he's annoyed that he's stuck in traffic, bumper to bumper. He sent me a picture of it, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna fuck with you at this point because there's times you pissed me off last week.
As you should. As you definitely should.
Okay, so you've been at this for about a year now. What kind of changes have you made, man? Menu changes? How have you gotten your team to fucking work better together? Like, what you been up to?
He beats us.
Good.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm a firm believer that, like,
I was like,
this
hey,
is how I learn. This is how you'll learn.
Hey, how was that buzz button?
I love it. It
You know what a
shocks
buzz
so
button
good.
is?
What's a buzz button?
No,
So-
not that. No. No.
It's an
I'm thinking shock collar. I know what you're thinking.
so it's an edible flower. It's
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You
Oh.
put them in your mouth and they, like,
man,
man,
numb out your tongue.
I have them still. They're in
it's
my
like
backpack.
they're
probably
super.
bad.
They're super bitter,
Okay.
and they like
It's-
they make your tongue.
It's
feel
like lidocaine, but as a plant.
It makes your tongue
Okay.
feel like TV static.
That's actually a really good descriptor. Yeah.
Like fire ants on your fucking tongue.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did
God.
not. I think you did that to me. I did not like that.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Yeah,
What type of flower is it? Like
I was like, who needs
Fresh
this?
Origins. carries
Okay.
it. It's
What kind of-
a
like, why-
200 gram pack And again, I think it was like $15 for it, for like a novelty thing. And granted, when I first heard of it, it was actually my boss at the time that told me it.
Okay.
VP somewhere. And he was like, here, try this. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, sure, fuck of it. Threw it in my mouth, started chewing on it. I instantly spit it out, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And like, it's cool, right? I was
No.
like, no, it's not cool. She goes, you want to do it again? I'll give it to other people. I ain't doing that shit to myself again.
Why would I want to do that to myself again?
I had, to convince Quay to do it, I had to eat one.
Yeah, no, and he gives it to me. He's like, take a little bite of it, and him and my sous chef are just grinning at me. And
Oh, no, that's how you know.
Robert will bring me things to try in the kitchen, right? He will bring me things to try, and it's always one of two things. Either it's really interesting, it's cool, it's something I've never
I see
had
the shit-eating
before,
grin
it's
on your
made in a
face.
unique way, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be delicious, or it's gonna be fucking awful. And this was the latter, and I knew it was from the way he was grinning, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And I like take a bite, and the sensation hits my tongue. And I'm like, is this spice? No, it's not spice. What is this? It's not great, whatever it is. And then my tongue just starts to go numb, and I'm like,
Just straight numb.
What have you done to me? Like, I
just
felt,
drooling.
I felt like Jar Jar Binks in Phantom Menace when he sticks his tongue in like the power field on the pod racer. Like, I was like, what have you done to me?
It's just straight drool coming out. I was like, drink something, it'll go away. As soon as you drink, he goes, what the fuck was that? And I was like,
I'm not mad at any of this.
no.
Any of it. No, this is good.
Well, he tried to get me with something super sour once, but I love sour candy. Like, I've eaten
Which
so
one
much
was
I
that?
burned a hole in my mouth, so that didn't
Wait,
bother
what
me.
was that?
I don't know. It was like a fruit or something, but you were like, try this. And I think you and Alex and Kaylin came to me with it, and Angel as well. And you're like, wait, try this. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh, it's really good. And you're all like, what?
Dude, the other day, Anthony brought me a fucking gummy worm that he dipped in fucking citric acid.
Oh, that's nice.
And I threw that in my mouth and immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
I just, dude, I could not help but just drool.
Just get it out as fast as you could.
Yeah, dude, honestly, like, it was awful. It was
cross
like,
your eyes when you
I was like, why did you do that to me? Like, that was uncalled for.
Let me guess, they said it was funny.
It was funny.
There you go.
It was absolutely
That's
funny.
that's the goal. As long as it doesn't cause extreme bodily harm, fair game.
We have to pick a good slow day so I can antique Paul.
What is that?
That's where
Oh, it's so mean.
You can get them with water, but you don't have to. But you just like douse somebody in flour.
That's fucked up. I would beat the shit out of you.
Oh, especially like working in a line too, so you're already covered in sweat, and it never goes away.
Well, I mean,
Never
the way I
goes
do
away.
it to him is just get like a good handful and then just like right across the back of the neck, because I don't want to get him.
They
in the
hit
face.
each
That's
other
mean.
with towels, like, just like whipping each other. To the point where like the next day I heard about it and I was like, I heard y'all hit each other. They're like, yeah.
No, I was like yeah.
And Clay's all fine and bruises on the back. I was like, and I saw him and I was like, they were purple like welts.
welts.
I was like, Jesus.
We just go
He's
shot
like-
for shot until one of us gives up, and it's never me.
And it's always like a draw. They're like, okay, I'm done. I was like, or they'll both like walk away from each other. I'm like,
So just.
Well, I don't want to pop him anymore if I'm not getting popped back, because that's unfair. So when he wants to stop, we stop. I can do it all day.
Well, and it's like we have this
'Cause you
19-year-old
like
host. He likes the pain, but he started like you like it was fake, like he hit me with the towel. I'm like, you don't want to start this. Hey, I
yeah.
got 20 years on you. I've been doing this for a long time, and trust me, you're not gonna like your
Oh
life.
no, I'm nice. I don't fray the end of the towel. I don't want to draw blood. He's made me bleed, which I thought was funny. There was one that was a perfect smiley face. Remember that one?
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
What
Why is your
you
leg
guys-
smiling?
kind of new stuff you got on your menu? I haven't been there in a while.
Oh, you dragged off the topic.
A little bit. It's all right.
Let's see. I brought in that vegan meat. You're the one who.
The chunk?
Yes.
The chunk was awesome, dude.
Quaid fucking hates it.
Yeah, dude. Honestly.
It's an
Quit.
affront to God.
Quaids are hunted.
So, I'll talk-
he does not like
So
it.
if I remember correctly, I met with this rep. He brought in this stuff called chunk. You know.
So it's vegan meat, so like Beyond
So-
Burger type thing. Or?
So apparently, it was developed by an MIT student who he was using. It's some sort of like
soy or something.
Okay.
yeah,
It's
something
made
like
from
that.
cockroaches.
There's only a couple of
bleeds,
ingredients
man.
in it.
Really?
It bleeds.
Oh, that freaks
There's
me
only
out.
there's only a couple of ingredients in it. It's got like less, like there's not a lot of like weird shit in it.
Yeah.
It's got beetroot juice in it.
Okay.
And that's when he mentioned it bleeds. That's what that
Literally-
is.
Like the myoglobin coming out of
Yeah,
actual
so you
beef.
can pick it up
Man.
and just squeeze it. And just,
Oh,
It's
so- I
it's
don't
one of
trust
the
that.
best. It's one of the best. Like, and
but
I
I
despise alternative meat. Like,
Yeah.
I despise vegan meat. I hate it. But if I have to serve it, I think that's what I
that
would use.
will sell. That will So I've made a piece.
It's
some,
incredible.
Turned it into vegan tacos or vegan brisket.
Okay.
Steak sandwich. It's a vegan brisket steak sandwich, some shit like that.
Y'all
I
sell
gave
a
it-
lot of it.
No, we haven't started yet.
No?
The menu starts up Wednesday.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I need to come up and see y'all.
Hey, am I gonna be up to my eyeballs in hot dogs on Wednesday?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. That's National Hot Dog Day.
I know.
That's awesome that because I remember when I got it, I was like, I know somebody that would appreciate this, and I sent him a message. I was like, dude, check this shit out. I'd forgotten all about that conversation, but
Yeah.
holy shit, man, that's awesome. That's fucking rad.
Yeah, and I saw that I was like, fuck yeah, I gotta try it. It took me like a year for it to actually get on the menu. But then one day I was like I said, I made the sandwich. Well, the ingredients for the meat for the sandwich, I passed it all to my front house staff.
Okay.
All bartenders, not much of actual like restaurant experience per se. And they all tried it like, oh, it's kind of weird for brisket, but it's good.
Did you tell him it was fake meat before
I
you
didn't
let him
tell
have
him
it?
shit.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I was like, I don't sell you anything. If I bring in a vegan product, I don't tell anybody it's vegan.
Yeah.
I was like, try this. Oh, this is really good. Cool. What's in it? I don't know. And I tell them, I was like, this is plant-based. This is vegan. No fucking shit. I can't tell the difference. Every single person I gave it to thought it was meat. So I was like, fuck yeah.
That's
I
a winner right there. Yeah, that's definitely a winner right there.
I was
Yeah.
like-
Dude, honestly, I was thoroughly impressed by it when that rep brought it to me. I was like, this is fucking cool.
And it's versatile as fuck.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, dude, I could make fajitas out of this. I could make, you could literally serve it as a fucking fillet.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You
Comes in
know,
a 6 ounce or a 4 ounce.
And it's just called chunk?
it's called chunk.
Okay. I'm have to look this up.
It's all right, man. It's neat.
Okay.
Yeah, I can agree with Josh. Processed vegan alternative meats.
No, it's
There's
just
so
not.
many chemicals
Yeah.
and weird shit in
Well,
there.
they're not good. Like
No.
Like-
It's
So
lies.
that's
I know
why-
it's vegan because it tastes like falsehood.
That's why I like the chunk, because there was minimal ingredients.
Yeah.
And it was quality.
yeah, like anything beyond nowadays, like Beyond brand, it's ultra processed.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
absolutely.
The fact that Burger King carries it. After that, you don't know what the fuck's in it.
Well, they carried it for a long time,
They still
too.
have it.
Yeah. I just don't trust it, just the amount of chemicals that's in
no,
it.
dude, I don't know about all that. Fucking, like, pea protein and fucking...
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, man.
We had them at the university, and I had like a bunch of the athletes on the university's like gymnastics and wrestling teams would eat them, and they liked the way I cooked it. So they're like, "Wait, can you make me my Beyond Burger?" And I'm like, "Dude, there's like perfectly good all natural like Thai vegan food I made on the vegan line right over there." Like, "I want my Beyond Burger," and I'm like,
No.
"All right, when you get cancer
Well-
in 2 years."
And we'll know why.
Well, at the moment, they needed fast recovery, and that has been proven actually. Like a vegetarian, plant-based, like
Yeah.
as an athlete, you recover faster.
Oh yeah, gladiators ate like vegetarian diets.
Yeah.
Well, as far as like, but anything processed nowadays, you're fucked.
Oh, it's all, yeah. That's why I go find my food in a field and whack it in the head with a hammer.
Hey, at least you know where it's coming from.
They're really confused. Like, why does that bush have a hammer?
So, I know y'all started doing, like, tacos and stuff after... Dude, how much of the old menu did you keep?
I don't know, like
Starters,
60%.
Starters?
appetizers.
Salads?
No, actually, I put a Caesar salad on. Got tacos. Got rid of the Reuben because when I got on my entire food my biggest hurdle when I got on as
Your
exec
food costs. I
was
remember
my
having this
fucking food
conversation
costs.
with
Oh
you.
my gosh, it always
Your
is.
food cost was outrageous when you took over.
60%.
Now, oh shit.
Yeah. Like, projecting wise, we wouldn't have made it past. Like, actually, tomorrow is anniversary wise for me being exec.
Oh, wow. That's
Um,
crazy. Congratulations.
Congrats on that, yeah.
National Hot Dog Day.
So were you able to find where that was at and be able to fix it?
Severely.
That's good.
Where was all your food costs going?
Remember those cheeses?
Yeah, I remember all those cheeses. Cheese is expensive.
Cheese is real expensive.
No, $15 pound specialty
Holy shit.
wheels, like good gourmet
Sage
stuff.
infused derby
Yeah.
and
Like great top of the line shit. You don't see that at a bar. You don't do that at a bar.
Yeah.
Like, your food cost for fine dining is 40%, which tweak some other things around in the menu, pay it off. You can have a nice charcuterie board. You have to pay to keep that good, and keep the food cost is like $35-$40.
Because you have to balance everything out in the whole entire menu.
Yeah. In a bar? No. Like,
yeah, and I mean
holy
that's
fuck.
primarily what y'all are. It's a brewery and a tap room. It's a bar, which I mean,
We're
Community
close.
Beer Company makes incredible beer. I love their products.
We're all drinking it, you know.
Like, it's fantastic, and if you can get it, drink it. And the food is good, and I always love that we tried to incorporate a lot of the beers into the food.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, no.
No, because people are already there for the drinks.
Yeah.
Like, the beer is the thing that sells. That's the brand. That's what keeps us open.
You really embrace
As-
like the pub food side of things.
Yeah, as far as food, like, people go there to eat and drink.
Yeah.
We figured this out whenever it froze over last year. We stayed open, but if the kitchen wasn't open, people don't want to stay. They're like, oh, well, you're not open for food.
Yeah.
Can I just get something to go and dip out versus stay, hang out? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it was fucking ice everywhere, but
Oh, it's like the beer brings them in, but the food makes them stay.
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Like,
Okay.
everywhere else is closed. Nobody wants to stay. And, I mean, granted, we in Dallas, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Texas, you're fucked. Freeze is over, ice is over, you're closed.
Yeah, you have to be.
Like, one, no one can fucking drive. Two, we don't get snow. We get ice.
And that's what, and explain that, especially working in Cisco for so long, is we can't get our trucks out.
No.
It is just not safe for those drivers to be out there, and people that have the restaurants that are open and they're complaining about not getting product. It's, well, our drivers can't get there. They're leaving Dallas. They're leaving, and having to drive up on these highways, and that's the last thing we want, because then you're definitely not getting any product. So,
I'm not risking him or anybody else on the road.
oh yeah,
On top of that, you're just like, if they crash, wasting product. If they get stranded, wasted product.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, when my reps tell me, like, oh, we're not going to open, then I look at my menu and I cut it down. It's like, what do I have to survive for the next 3 days?
right.
I talk to the rest of my management group, leadership group. This is what I can do for the next 3 days if these circumstances come to this. Have a plan. Have a backup plan. Contingency.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's wise.
Well, and it's not just that, but recovery, afterwards too. I mean, that was the hardest thing is, going back to the trucks where everyone's like, oh, it's 70 degrees outside. Because that's what it was, 30, then all of a sudden it was 80 degrees. I'm like, you guys got to realize that we have a certain amount of trucks, certain amount of drivers, a certain amount of space.
Yeah.
We can't get to everybody. And then that's when it comes, oh, we're not important enough, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
We're not big enough. I'm like, no, we're just at capacity, guys.
By what percentage you cut your food costs back over the last year?
I am now at,
You said you were at what, 60?
I was at 60, 59, 60.
Jeez.
I dropped it down within a 6-month period to 30, and now I'm sitting at 21.
God,
Well played.
damn.
Very well
God,
played.
Dude, that's a hell of a drop.
Oh, hell yeah.
I bet your corporate overlords are thrilled with that.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
God, that's incredible, man. Good work.
That's not easy either.
No, it's not.
No.
It's going through every single menu item, breaking it down, seeing what's possible, seeing what can work, checking with vendors, checking what prices you can get.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, what can you, that's like me asking any of my vendors, what can you work with me that works with you?
Right.
Like, I don't want to screw y'all out of something, but I want to help me out as well.
And that's the same time, I always tell people, I'm like, I want you guys to stay open. Because if
Yeah.
you stay open, I'm still making money.
Uh-huh.
So let me help you where I can, but I'm going to be straight up with you. If I can't help you, I can't in certain areas. But that's what you have to do, is you have to work. You have to actually have a partnership with your guy or girl.
Yeah.
Like,
And be nice to them, be nice to the drivers, because they'll help you out in the long run.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, when you're stuck in that bind at 60% food costs, you're pulling out all the stops.
Oh, yeah.
And doing what you have to do to keep that place alive.
and at that point, they're just like going into the fall, going into holiday season, and just like, they're like, here, this is yours. I'm like, holy fuck, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, looking back at it, I saw the challenge. I saw the challenge before my predecessor saw it.
Okay.
So I was already coming up with a plan to fix it before, shit actually hit the fan. If that person wasn't around, what would I do?
Well, of course, you'd have to follow in order to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the industry? Because you used to do like fine dining and stuff, right?
So we can have nice things.
Well, do you want more beer or not?
Been in the industry since I was 16, 17.
Hell yeah.
I'm 35 now.
What was your first job?
I was a baker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You
Okay.
like to bake.
No, not anymore. No, fuck that.
Thank you, sir.
I'm like 4th generation chef. Like my
Oh, shit.
family,
Okay.
my family has been in the restaurant industry for the longest time.
Oh, no shit.
I did not know that.
Yeah, my great grandfather was the executive pastry chef for the Dallas Country Club. His assistant Sue was my grandfather, who taught my dad how to cook. So he went to be a restaurant. He was a lead somewhere. He never really wanted to move up.
Yeah.
He's like, salary's not worth it to me. I was like, I get it. Trust me, I do. But it's always been like something that's been in the back of my mind. So yeah, I started off as a baker. I worked 1 season, and that's all it took. 1 holiday season. I made, and it was like, I think it was Dallas's oldest bakery, Stein's Bakery.
Okay.
It was like they had the old school stone gas rotating oven.
That's cool.
That would be
Like,
cool to see.
It's there's no temperatures. It's like gas on. Was it thermometer say inside? 500? Cool.
All right, see what happens.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and after like it was like Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day. They're like working from September to December. First kitchen job, first restaurant job, industry job, and I was so happy, so excited. And when it got closer and closer to like actual Christmas stuff, I was dead. Everything. And one day we did an overnight shift. We worked a double. I worked about 20-something hours.
Oh.
And at the end, I'm 17 years old. Still in high school. And it was in my fucking break, so I didn't really get to enjoy it that much until actual Christmas. When I saw everything was sold out, everything was done before we actually closed. Like, you want to come back next week? No.
Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna pass on that.
I was like, I gotta rethink some things. I love baking. It's cool. I like making bread. I like making sourdough.
Yeah.
Cakes. I can decorate. Will I do that as a profession? I give that props to anybody that's a baker, pastry chef, in that field, that department. I 100%
entirely
respect.
Oh, yeah.
different
I
beast
cannot
than, like,
fucking
what
do
we
it.
do.
Well, and like my mom's a pastry chef, and just the hours, like when I was working in Alaska, as a breakfast cook up there to help cover. I mean, she was showing up at 4 a.m. with me, just getting stuff ready. I'm like, that is just insane,
Yeah. I couldn't be a baker. I'm
No,
not
same.
a good baker.
Dude,
We know that I'm not a good baker.
I can't bake to save my life.
You remember
yeah, those poor cookies.
the cinnamon rolls with the salt?
Ha! Fuck you! I made good cinnamon rolls on my.
You actually can bake.
I usually
Quake and bake?
Normally,
Quake and fucking bake.
If I
normally
have
my
good
cinnamon
instructions.
rolls were okay, but
Yeah.
for some reason I'd fucked up a batch. They came out
Fucking hockey pucks.
salty.
Go ahead, bro. He needs everything on himself too.
Do you remember that?
I'm glad I didn't eat AC. He's like, this is salty. I was like, I'm not eating it. I
I
refused at that point.
Y'all-
The moment you said that, I was like, nope.
And I like salt in my desserts, don't get me wrong, but this sounds like
No,
it
this
wasn't a
was
good amount of
bad.
salt.
This was-
Like a salt bomb?
I'm pretty sure he misread salt and sugar bin.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Salty cinnamon rolls.
I don't even know how that fucking it rose.
It rose. I can't. And, I was able to roll that shit out. He was like, "I'm amazed that you were able to roll
like
that out."
it was tacky
So,
as
like,
fuck.
Did you
and
have
it
any-
was dense. I don't know how he managed to get the two properties together, but it was tacky and dense. So when it baked up, it looked perfectly
Yeah.
fine. And he took a bite. I was like, I want to try it. I was like, yeah, I'm not eating that. Takes a bite of it,
It was so
and it's
salty.
like it was like
It was
I was
like,
like, oh fuck, no.
it was like the Atlantic Ocean with a touch of cinnamon.
Oh, that's nice. But did you know
It was
until
all
you took a bite?
Savory.
Dude,
Savory cinnamon.
I
Okay.
fucked up. I don't know.
Well, this shit happens, but sometimes you can catch it ahead of time. But
I'm
as
not
you
a
said,
baker. I'm not a baker. Baking requires like precise,
Mhm.
accurate science and measurements, whereas like
No, dude, that was
cooking, like normal, just cooking is like very from the heart. Like, you know,
well, in baking, you
no
can't
kings,
you
no
can't
gods,
fix something.
No recipes, right?
Yeah.
The gods of baking are cruel and fickle.
Well, and you don't know until it's done and over with. When you're cooking something, if you need to add something, you can add it on the spot.
After your baking gig, where did you go off to?
Took a break for a bit. Went to college. Everybody else does. Fucking did everything, and I fucking hated it.
Now, were you going to school for something specific, or is it just you're going to go to school because that's what you do?
Culinary school?
No, I didn't go to culinary school just yet. I went to. I don't remember what the fuck I did. That's how bad it was.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I went to community college in downtown Dallas, where all the bars were at.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
it didn't work
Yep.
out very well.
So you didn't. I think it sounds like it worked out great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I need to be in this industry. Fuck that industry. I mean, do I think it's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and it's like sometimes it sucks? Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you do what you love.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can't picture myself anywhere else. Like
We're still here because, like, at least the four of us, like, we do it for the love of the game.
Yeah. I'm not here to make money.
I think that if we didn't do it for the love of the game, we would have left a long fucking time ago. I know I've talked about getting out, but, like, it's the only thing I'm good at. You know, it's the only thing I like doing.
Yeah.
can't bake for shit.
No, not really.
No. We know that career.
I can make a look. There's like a couple of things. Like I can make a really good, you know, like New York style cheesecake, easy. You know, but like I can't make a cookie to save my fucking soul.
I was gonna say, I swear.
You made a
to fucking
really
God, if you
good
bring
beer
up
cheese
Tweels
sauce. I can
again.
tell you that much.
Yeah, we
Look,
talked
I
about
make
that too,
twills.
actually.
I make good twills. Fuck you. But I don't know if I'd call that baking.
What is a tweel?
It's like a cookie,
like
sorta. It's like a
So
little
you can make
cracker.
Tweels, but you can't make pre-made fucking
Just savory
cookies.
cookie.
Yeah.
You can't follow the fucking instructions on the box.
Look,
Chef.
look. It's easy to make a fucking pistachio tweel. It's not as easy for me to make a fucking sugar cookie, I guess. I don't know, man. I can't explain it.
Hey,
I'm good at what I'm good at.
So we reached the point, just don't bake. That's all it is, just don't bake.
Not often.
I'm the same way, I don't bake.
Like, I stick to my strengths, right?
Yeah.
You know, fucking easy stuff. Panna cotta, cheesecake, fucking, you know.
People love that
whatever.
shit.
I've met people that can't do fucking cheesecakes. I mean, you're doing.
Dude, I make a badass
Like-
cheesecake. I do a New York style cheesecake with a blackberry Moscato reduction and a blackberry basil compote, and that shit slaps hard as fuck.
Hey, what's the fancy term for green beans again?
Haricot Vert.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck you.
Why? There's something behind this.
I posted a picture once, and I gave the description of the photo, and motherfucker it was Haricot Vert.
comment
Yeah.
it was me.
And he comments, he's like, green beans.
Low comment.
Did you at least have the
within-
apostrophe on the H, apostrophe A?
No.
On the, oh, okay.
And I know he was proud of it. I mean, it looked good. It looks great. But I just love to fuck with Josh.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
he does.
Absolutely fair.
Like, yeah, just lone comment, notice anything.
Yeah.
Green beans. Okay,
We chef.
Bitch.
I went to a French culinary school, so I'm well aware of
Yeah.
Haricot.
So you did go to culinary
I
school.
did go to culinary
Okay.
school.
Which one did you go
How old
to?
were you? Sorry.
I was 23, 24.
Okay.
Okay.
So mid-20s. I was like, fuck it. If I gotta go somewhere and I gotta pay for it and I gotta deal with this shit, this is something I gotta deal with the rest of my life. And I already knew that.
If this is what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, you might as well fucking go to school for it.
Am I paying it back? No. That school does not exist in the United States anymore.
No shit. Where'd you
No,
go?
I went to Le Cordon Bleu.
Oh, dude,
Really?
I had another friend that went there, and yeah.
Wait, they don't exist anymore in the States?
No.
Oh, I did not know this.
Wild.
They only have their Paris location. Their
No
original one,
shit.
and that's it.
Why?
Because they're snooty fucking Frenchmen.
Because they.
No, that's the CIA.
Yeah, that
that's,
is
CIA.
CIA.
that's Culinary Institute.
That's
of America.
Johnson and Wells.
Yes.
Got any culinary school stories?
Give us your emotional damage.
It wasn't my emotional damage. I fucking survived that shit.
Honestly, I bet you did well.
You're
Pretty level-headed. You're not super emotional.
No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm not. I can't say that. I was like, yeah, no. My cohort when we started had 50 people. At the end of it, we had to combine classes to make a single line.
Really?
Yeah.
Just people just dropping out is all that it was, or?
What the fuck?
It was
Is it buds? What the fuck?
It was concentrated French food. So you learn the cordon bleu and you had to learn traditional French food.
Yeah.
Traditional
Hold on.
French
And
cook techniques.
dude, it's
You gotta learn like all the fancy French names for dumb shit. Like
Even making a souffle, I mean, I don't think I could do that.
they teach you how to tourner shit, even though nobody's
Oh, we don't talk
tornado-
about that.
Nobody's tornado anything since the 90s.
what is fuck it, what's the marking? It's not a tornado, but it's where you put designs around a mushroom and make it a spiral.
Oh, shit.
know what I'm talking
Yes, I
about.
know exactly. Because you have the paring knife and you spin it downwards.
It's the same motion as a tornado, but you do it as a mushroom.
I know what
and
you're
it's-
talking about. It gives that
that's-
stupid like umbrella pattern.
I'm
Yes.
looking this up because this is going to drive me insane.
I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, study French cooking.
No.
Look, as long as you're
technique.
not,
All you gotta learn is technique.
yeah,
You
and
learn-
it's
you learn-
not like I know most French technique is like holding a white flag and like grabbing cheese and running,
forget
but
the
like,
magnet.
but they are good at cooking.
They are. No, well, I actually
That's why he has the apron.
I need to let you. Well, yeah, my mama gave it to me. Of course, I'm gonna wear it. I love my mom. I'm not wearing the other one because it has the hat that goes with it. I keep that at home. I was giving Josh shit for that when I opened that bag when we were in Discord together, and you're like, "What did your mom bring you from France?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck you! I actually have a chef's hat. You don't, bitch."
Dude, I will not wear a toque. I will
Oh
not.
my god.
No, I actually have
Used to
a
work for a
chef's
place.
like.
You'd have to give me an insane salary in order to get me to wear a toque.
It's a cookbook, but it's also like
All I can find is fluting.
autobiography.
Yeah,
Fluting. Yeah, that's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Can you play music on it?
No.
Oh,
No, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong.
It looks pretty.
It looks cool.
okay.
It's intricate as fuck looking.
Let's you put like $80 on
Does
the
it
website.
actually do anything aside
No.
from like looking for my classic dish? I don't know.
I mean, it looks nice with the beef Wellington and those in the corner, but that's really about it. I mean, it doesn't change how it cooks or anything like that.
No,
It just looks cool.
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
I get
Aesthetically,
that, though. I can respect that.
Can you?
I'll have you do one.
Yeah.
Let me see how you feel about it later.
No, it's
Teach
fine.
Quinn how to flute mushrooms.
Fuck no.
I
I'm gonna teach him by sending him a message with the YouTube link. Here you go, Quinn.
Learn how to do this and do it and make it look pretty.
That is-
Honestly, that's how I've learned most things is just YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You know, like I did not go to culinary school. I did not study French culinary technique. Everything that I've learned is because I have sought out the answers mostly
Yeah.
on my own. You know, or I've been fortunate enough to work with a couple of people who are extremely talented and imparted their knowledge upon me. You know, and I think I would argue that's probably the best way to learn how to do stuff.
Oh, I agree, though. On the
You know,
job, the
look
baptism
it
by
up
fire.
yourself. You know, do the research.
Yeah.
You know, there's, you know, where we live in a time where we have YouTube, and you can literally the entirety of the world's knowledge is at your fingertips.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, and so like if
Still gotta
you-
verify.
If you want to learn
Yeah.
how to make a tuile or make a proper bechamel, you can find that, and if you really want to, you can learn those things.
Why don't you make a play with the twill and haircut birds?
Haircut birds,
Fluted mushrooms.
some
you know,
haircut birds.
some trim nose potatoes. I mean,
No, God, that sounds
some
so
fine
90s.
brunoise red peppers.
They start
Wow, that
speaking
brings back bad
chef and
memories.
they've lost
Yeah, I know. As soon as you said that, I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck!" I was like, "I don't remember that."
So my chef coming, oh, those look like shit.
Like one of my first, I guess, fine dining jobs. I was still in culinary school.
Was it an extern? Like you went there for school or?
No, I went there because I wanted a job.
Okay.
Like,
Fair.
he goes, name the chef goes, you want an extern? I was like, no, I want a job. I want to give me a shot.
Yeah.
I will show up 6 a.m, downtown Dallas. One of the more premier spots back in the day. I don't know if it still is, but I've heard nothing much from him. And that's when I learned how to making the best cut chives.
This real thin cut,
Like
perfect
the
chives.
Thomas Keller with the whole entire
Dude,
paper
that's
towel
a
wrap,
talent.
or
No,
Bro,
like,
like-
use your own fucking hand. Don't use
Okay.
a paper towel and do it from there. And my chef's like, use your hand. I was like, can I use the towel? And he's like, no. He goes, I need you to be fast at this. I need you to go do it right. You fuck it up, you're throwing everything away.
And I don't remember who said it. Maybe it was Anthony Bourdain was talking about you can tell the pride, the passion, and the skill in a cook just by how they cut chives.
chives.
Yep,
Yeah.
the one thing.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody from coming in now boasts they're badass, I'll literally hand them a small pile of chives. I need these cut. Thinly as possible, no bruising. I want to see what you can do.
That and wrap
And-
something in plastic wrap is what I want to see. Those two things, and I'll be happy.
If you do it with those shitty, dull knives we have in the kitchen, you're a cruel man.
Well, because it's like basil too. It's just gonna bruise. It's
Well,
gonna be
no,
ugly.
There is nothing in this
want it to
world
be
that is divine as fresh basil, except for maybe garlic.
It's all so good though. So and there's so much you can do with garlic too.
During my first day, I had to run a recipe, and it called for garlic. And I went in the walk-in,
I take
and there
you
was a
remember
thing
this?
of garlic. It looked a bit old, but I was like, oh, this must just be like the last run. We're trying to get rid of it. And so I grab it and I'm running it. And Robert comes over to me and he goes, Quaid, you're using confit garlic. And I don't know what the fuck that is. And I'm like, what did you say to me? He's like, this is a confit. And he's talking to me like I'm a silly goose for doing it. And I'm like, it's labeled just garlic, Robert. It's just labeled fucking garlic.
See, and at this time, I didn't know what his actual skill set
Yeah.
was.
I'm sure you
I
learned
just
pretty
knew
quick on
he
that
was,
one.
He was like, you dingus, you use the confit garlic. It just says garlic on the label.
So-
I trusted the label.
At the time when I met Quaid and Josh was here, Josh was actually my boss.
Okay.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
I treated you as an equal.
Yeah.
Like
You guys
I
are
had
such
to.
a power couple.
I had to, because there was still things that I had yet to learn, and the things that I was weak on, Robert was strong on.
That's like building a team though. That's good.
I relied a lot on him.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
I came in burnt out. Like, I worked at Italy.
Yep.
Worked at Italy for a year, and the amount of prep work, the amount of like sheer physical like volume.
I would say the volume must be insane
and
there.
the amount of hours I worked as a salary person. I went in at 5 in the morning, and I didn't leave till sometimes 6 or 7 in the afternoon.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And
Rinse
like,
and repeat.
yeah, severely. And when I got down to like, there so many things happened where the point where just like I have to leave this toxic ass job and go somewhere else. And I waited for my predecessor to email me back. It took her like a month to send me, hey, come by over here.
Yeah.
I put my notice in right before New Year's Day. Like, my last day was actually the day before Christmas Eve.
Good on you.
So I was like, you're not gonna stay here? Fuck no.
No. I put in my 6-week notice, and guess what?
Right.
Right in between that, when I was on the Appalachian
You're a
Trail,
much better man than me.
Oh, dude.
but it was graduation and Mother's Day weekend. And I was like, someone got to do it without me, guys. So have fun. I'm going to be out in the middle of the Appalachian Trail. Can't get a hold of me. Good luck on Mother's Day for brunch. Sucks a suck.
I'm in the mountains with the skinwalkers. You ain't gonna find me.
Gay one the whole time.
I remember when you asked me, like, why aren't you still? I'm like, I don't want to be.
Because you didn't want to be. Yeah.
I said, like, I was burnt out.
Honestly, like at that time, like I think that was my like real first sous chef opportunity, and there were absolutely things that I needed to learn, but it was a good opportunity. I really enjoyed my time there, and you know I learned a lot from him, and I questioned him. I was like, dude, you ought to be where I'm
Yeah.
at. Like, honestly, you're way more qualified than I am, you know. And he didn't care, you know. And so we worked well together, I think.
Yeah.
You know, we got along well, and you know, we were able to learn off of each other.
That's always good.
And then when I departed community, you know, he took my spot, and not long afterward, I think.
6 months later.
Yeah.
How long have you been working there in totality?
Totality, about 3 years.
Okay.
about 3 years there.
Are you happy with taking this position?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm happy where I'm at. It's a long ass fucking drive, but yeah, I'm coming from to downtown Dallas, basically.
That's a little bit of a
like
haul.
15 minutes closer than me.
How is that fucking close?
15 minutes. Listen, just because I speed doesn't mean it's not farther.
I'd say there's probably some variables thrown in there as well. So
Wade
Well,
used to
I
wake up
V8.
late a lot.
Did you guys
No,
ever-
that's not true. I didn't wake up late. I just took a while to get up.
I woke up on time.
Did you ever do that beer dinner?
No.
Really?
When I
No.
took over, I canned the entire thing.
Really?
Yeah.
While on one half of my brain I thought it was a good idea because I love stuff like that, I also knew that the brewery was under-equipped for something
Yeah.
like that. Because anytime they wanted to do these big, large-scale caterings was... I was like, that's fine, y'all have the space, but I'm lacking equipment. I'm lacking... There's things that I need that...
We still do that.
Yeah.
I just beer dinner is one thing, but at the point, as a business perspective, I was looking at a restaurant now.
Uh-huh.
Sit down beer dinner. You sell $150 tickets, about 3 hours. That's not going to equal the amount of sheer volume you can do on a busy Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like now we're doing, we're doing double what we did now. Like what, 2.5?
Yeah.
What we did compared to when you were there. Like
Okay.
as far as sales.
And we had busy nights, but a lot of times it was
well, and a quick
a little
interjection
slow.
to what you were just talking about. That right there is the difference between a cook and a chef. Just listening to how you just described that situation, that scenario of the beer dinners and making money coming back from your 60% food cost. People always want to know what the difference is. That's a great example right there.
Yeah.
Because you're looking out for the business, you're looking out for the the numbers to line up.
It's not at the end of the day for me. It's not about my ego. I know what I could do, and I know
Yeah.
how to work. Like I know every now and then I have my own cooks where like, oh, I don't see on the line as much anymore compared to like when Josh was there. I was a line cook. I did literally every single station.
Right.
I was the lead supervisor, quote unquote. Nowadays, I don't really do as much. If I have to do it, that means either one or two things. Person called out, that person's fucking up.
Yeah.
So, and nowadays, I was just like, oh, you don't think I could do it? I can still do your job better than you.
And that's the thing. That's what it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I have bigger things that I need to focus on and make sure that you still have a job tomorrow.
Do you ever
Yeah.
get to a point where you feel like you're not doing enough because you've reached this level? Like, because you're like, I don't know. I get that a lot. Where like I think I spent so many years on a line and doing prep and doing all these things that like now I'm in a more managerial position and like while I'm doing I'm doing ordering and I'm doing inventory and I'm doing I'm putting away trucks and I'm doing doing this stuff. There's that part of me that feels like I'm not working as hard as I used to. I'm not as stressed out as I used to be.
I think it's just a
Or
shift.
It's a different kind of stress.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
shift.
it's a different kind of stress.
It's a different kind of stress, and like there's times where I question like, am I doing enough? Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, for sure. Because
Yeah.
there's always that downturn of like, okay, do I make enough money? Do I put enough in the bottom line? And at the end of the day, for me, I'm always trying to look out for my line cooks, for my team.
Yeah.
For this coming up season, who can I give a raise to? Who's been working their ass off? Who's been busting their ass off?
The recognition.
Who's doing actually a lot of shit? They're gonna get a bump up. You showed for it, for sure, definitely for sure.
Well, I gotta you guys have done a lot. Like you're genuinely probably one of my favorite bosses I've ever worked for. Like you're super fair and you're very level-headed, and I can actually talk to you about shit without getting slapped over the back of the head for some shit I did 9 months ago before I even worked for you. And like,
Oh boy.
it's
Yeah, no,
I'm
get
always excited to come to work. And like it is also like a genuine pleasure to see you work on the line. Like I know you don't do it because you obviously have like far bigger fish to fry and you're working in a much more macro setting now than micro. But like you'll cut like when you make your own food, you actually make your own food. You're not just grabbing something to keep yourself alive off the line. That is
he sees that quite often. He's like,
dude,
He'll
You
do
haven't
the
eaten-
plating, and I'm like, is this a test plate? He's like, no, this is my lunch. And I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Enough to make sure I don't pass out. That's about it.
Yep. Enough sustenance.
I am here for, like, I got a new culinary school started. Brand new. Not saying the college name. Not bashing anybody, but he is green. Like,
Yeah.
green.
Sweet
but he
kid.
is determined. He is like, I want to be
You
a
can
great
work
chef.
with that though.
He is moldable.
Yeah.
And I asked him,
Yeah.
I was like,
That's teachable. That's coachable.
I asked him, I was like, what do you cook yourself at home? I don't cook myself at home. I was like, you gotta start
Start-
doing now.
start.
Now. Start pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Start showing that you have the compassion to go.
Do the research. Start learning. Watch videos. That's dude. When I got into this industry and like, you know, I was green and I discovered that love for the food that I was producing, and I was like, you know, because I was working at a place where I'd never seen food like that before.
Right.
You know, and so I was enthralled with it. And I would go home, I'd read cookbooks, I'd watch YouTube shows, anything I could to learn a new technique, to learn a new flavor, to learn something, like anything, you know, because I was obsessed. Yeah, you gotta have that desire to learn more, even in your off hours.
Yeah.
I am doing a challenge for myself now since I really don't have no one to learn from per se. Like, and that's, I guess, the con of where I'm at now. in my
Leveling
career.
up to that point.
I don't got no one to show me anything else.
Mhm.
Like,
You don't have a mentor.
I don't have a mentor. I mean, shit, I didn't have a mentor when I was first started there either. I had more experience in my exec.
Yeah.
So, me learning, like, yeah, I learned a few things here and there from, like, I always come into any location humble.
Yeah.
Like, what do you know how to do? What do you know how to do? And this is what I can do. And I want to learn, I want to try my best. Everyone asks me, like, okay, if you go stage somewhere, if you go work somewhere else, internship, where are you going to be at? Soup? Exec? No. I'll work as a fucking prep person, line cook.
Yeah.
Why? You have more experiences. Like, that's where you learn everything.
That's the best way to learn.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck. New techniques, new things to learn, new ways to cook food. Fuck yeah, I'm in.
And that's actually a lot of my worries too, is going in, you know, as a chef to this place. But I still want to learn. And I'm hoping that I can hire people with different backgrounds that can teach me different things, because we all know we're not going to learn everything. We don't know everything.
Well, I mean,
But we
that's
want
a
to.
big part of, like, I mean, you and I have gotten together and we've just talked food. We've talked menu items.
Oh, yeah.
I've you know, you've bounced ideas off of me, and I've given you ideas for your menu that, you know, like, you're going to use those, you know, and like, I think having these relationships with other chefs, like, you're gonna, you know, at least then you still have somebody that you can bounce ideas off with, and have, it's not necessarily a mentor, but you know, it is somebody that you can sort of you know, work with and
Yeah.
Oh,
come up
absolutely.
with new stuff, you know, and that's like the next best thing, I think.
I mean, that was one of the reasons why I was stoked about this podcast too, is getting to meet other people and having those talking shop with people that I don't know,
Yeah.
just to learn from them too, like their history, their past, where they came from, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
kind of
think
cool.
That shit's important, you know. And then you have things like the Food Network, which everybody watches, but like that's not real.
No.
You know, that's
Not
reality
anymore.
TV.
I miss
you
back in the
know.
day.
It's
My
it's
mom bought
Food
me the
Network
Food Network
used to
cookbook.
be like real chefs.
Mm-hmm.
Real chefs that actually wanted to make a name for themselves and
Yeah.
actually do something about it. Now,
But
it's,
that's not real.
TV.
And so, like,
Video.
I feel like, you know, the industry severely lacks a space for people to share their backgrounds and their stories.
I agree.
And have that actual, true, gritty honesty that comes with a lot of the people that work in this industry, and it's not the happy-go-lucky picture that Food Network would like to paint for you.
Well, and it's like, what is it? The Final Table, that cooking competition where they use all the
That was
high-end
good.
ingredients. I like that because I learned each episode because they had Michelin star chefs on there, and I was kind of sad that they didn't have another season of it. Like, I thought that was just
Yeah,
a
that
really
was
cool
that
show.
was a good show.
Yeah,
I really enjoy shows like the final Chef's Table.
yeah.
You know, like, they've covered some of my favorite chefs. You know.
Netflix had, yeah, well, I don't know if they still have it. They have almost like the Final Table, but Korean.
Okay.
And,
Bryson's been watching that.
Oh, is that the one he's been watching?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fucking good.
And I love Korean food too, so
Yeah,
I'll definitely check
he
that out.
He said it's fantastic.
It's
I've
not.
not watched it.
It's not all Korean food. Oh, what's the chef's name?
Do you know the name of the show?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll find it.
Like, it's really fucking good. He is a 3 Michelin star restaurateur
Oh,
here.
geez.
Dude, that's awesome.
He got second place to basically a person that was an apprentice to another 3-star Michelin star chef.
No shit.
That's unreal.
And fuck, what's his name?
It'll hit you about 2 a.m.
I mean,
Probably, yeah.
for anybody that doesn't know, like having 3 Michelin stars is, I mean, that's culinary godhood. Like,
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's unheard of.
huge.
Like very few people have it.
What was it in Burnt? He called him the Yoda of being a chef.
You know, like I would kill for a James Beard award, let alone a Michelin star.
Yeah.
Let alone fucking 3 of them. You know, like if you have 3 Michelin stars, you are one of the elite. You are.
I
one
don't
of the
need a
best in the
tire
world.
company judging me though, okay? Just because they wanted to boost their sales for their tires, you know,
I would
it's what it
actually-
was.
Originally, yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I want
That's
to.
all it is.
I would
Wait,
like. I want
it's
to do
genuinely
it.
tied to the Michelin Tire Company?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa,
that is
it's
the
the
same company.
Michelin, man.
Really?
The
Yeah.
Michelin guide has the Michelin man on it.
Yeah.
Jamie, pull that up real quick. Fucking, I want to do a deep dive on that. I want to, you know, I'd be interested to find out exactly how that went down because it is the tire company.
Holy shit.
And it's based upon because people drive cars in America, so they boosted their tire company. And, you know, don't quote me on this, but it's a rough summary of what I've heard. So
No shit.
I want to do a deep dive on it as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he's been wanting to do a deep dive side channel.
Yeah,
Like, if you
yeah,
if you
one
heard
of
this
the
bit about
weird-
Monterey Jack cheese.
Weird,
Yeah.
weird food history. Do you know about Monterey Jack cheese? I'll do this real quick.
Yes.
What's up with Monterey Jack cheese?
Today we're going to talk about Monterey Jack cheese.
On our history corner
So
today.
There was, it was Monterey, California, back when there was all these missions, like religious, like Catholic
named
missions,
after a
right?
person?
And so this dude, he was a complete piece of shit. His name was David Jacks. He came over and he bought out the whole town. Like he was a piece of shit. He swindled people out of their land. He stole land. He was a complete piece of garbage. But he scooped up this fucking cheese that these missions were making, right? It was a local popular cheese. And he marketed the shit out of it as Monterey Jack's cheese.
It came out of Monterey, California.
And dude, I mean, he was a terrible human being, but that's where that comes from. And stuff like that, I'm just like, that's interesting, you know. So like the Michelin thing, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like now I need to know more.
What?
Whenabouts was that again?
Oh, I'm not sure about the year, man. I have to.
I'm genuinely curious if Zorro was tied into that because no.
Okay, now we're pulling
You
out
don't
the Zorro.
understand. With my most recent girlfriend, I
Left
went to
field.
Arizona to visit her family, right? And we went out to eat in this town in Arizona, and on the wall in the restaurant we were eating in, there was a whole shtick about Zorro coming to like rest from his wounds there and write his memoirs. I'm like, holy fuck, that was a real guy?
Wait, Zorro's real?
Yes!
Wait.
Fact check that.
Write this down.
No,
right?
bro. I was like, wait.
I think he was real.
We're gonna.
Because there's like a city in Arizona where he went to like rest from his wounds as an old man. And
But
write
we're
his
definitely
memoirs.
coming back to this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
I have to do more
Yeah.
digging, but I was like, wait, what the shit? Like the show I
Is
watched
it-
as a kid was real?
That's cool. I'll have to look.
It's
at
Yeah.
not Antonio Banderas?
That's all I pictured the whole time, though.
I was like-
the whole time just picturing that.
I love that movie.
Well,
Oh, it's
cannon
so
bit,
cheesily
if I ever
great.
get a home defense cannon, that's how I'm going to greet my home invaders. It's just like the wave and then the like really theatrical lighting of the wick.
Why does none of this surprise me, though? None of it does.
Fuckwads.
and a little Disney symbol on this.
Yep.
I can do that with a rapier.
So what's in the future for community? You got anything else planned coming up?
Anything you want to do?
Anything I want to do?
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm getting stuck on smoker detail pretty soon.
Good.
I am the meat master. My meat is delicious.
You'll be single forever.
I've accepted that long ago.
I was like, he has his own comment for that. Yes, we're smoking our own meats. We got a smoker, free of course.
How big? Is
Not big.
Not big.
Not big at all.
It's like the
It's
size
like-
of a trash
smoker I
can.
have at this.
Like enough to run a special for a
Bro,
weekend,
it's
that's it?
Shit,
It's
no.
the size of
no
the
It's an
shit.
electric 3-tier smoker.
Oh, okay.
So, not electric,
propane.
propane, sorry. That thing doesn't have igniter. You just gas, light, don't
Okay.
blow yourself up. That's about it.
Set
I'm
and forget
good
and hope
at
it works
that.
out?
Yeah, pretty much.
9 times out of 10,
Wait, don't touch.
it's fine.
Uh-huh.
That's why I said don't touch. You
I've
just
been
said
on
it's
fire
fine.
3 times. I know how to deal with it.
You're the reason Stop, Drop, and Roll is still
Okay,
being
so you're
taught in
smoking
school
your own
today.
meat for what? What are you gonna be doing?
Smoking our meats, using it as far as anything else I want to do with it. the main goal was to smoke meat, still have it on weekends. Once that picks up traction, make enough money off of it, eventually get a bigger smoker to go into our fairly large beer garden nowadays.
Yeah.
Quay is gonna have to deal with people.
Heard that. You're gonna become a pitmaster, buddy.
No, it's fine. I did it at the university. I can interact with the public.
I know. I'm just scared to hear your front of house voice.
He just like I'm
you
watching.
wanna hear my front
No, I don't want to hear your front of house voice.
It
It's
freaks
not
my
going
friends
well.
out.
I don't want to hear anyone's front of house voice that I know works back of house because it scares the shit out of
Well,
me.
I converted from front of house to back of house.
I don't have that. Like
Have you ever worked front of house, bartend, server, anything like
I
that?
am not nice. That's why I don't do it.
No, that's fair. I mean, it's
He's got a
absolutely
face
fair.
for front of house, but not an attitude.
No,
He's got the attitude from back house,
sir.
unfortunately.
I need to catch up. So there. I have to get up. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's the red one. Figure it out.
I will be polite. I will be respectful. Am I gonna go to get shit for you? No.
Oh, I had
You
one.
got 2 legs. You can do it. If you are handicapped, then I will. But if you're being lazy, no.
Why was there a hesitation before handicapped? What were you gonna say?
Trying to be as respectful as possible.
Fair enough.
What moves
Yeah.
you me making?
Well, I'm going into the fall. So fall for us,
Are you still doing seasonal menus?
no. Like I have quarterly menus now.
Okay.
Okay.
To the point where we are going to fall. We have a fall menu. We see what works. We see as far as like what's moving fast, what's moving not, and then we pull up PMixes for that quarter to.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I take off for next quarter? Winter, December, January, February, and part of March, and that's just how I work.
Well, and I think people undervalue running your PMix because you have to see what's selling, what's not selling. It doesn't matter if that one regular gets it. Well, that one regular isn't there every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's if it's not selling, you got to get rid of it.
Like it's not 100% their choice, their reason to come to that makes or break your kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I'm glad you like eat it. I love it too. But if it's not moving, hey, it's getting canned next.
Exactly.
Like, and as shitty as that sometimes sounds is like, excuse me, how things are, how restaurant industry is post COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how everyone talks about restaurants now.
Yeah.
Post COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
The first 2 years after COVID, everything was premium. Even freaking wages.
Oh yeah.
I had people that were making like 20 something an hour that were mediocre, that were making like $20 an hour, $21 an hour. And as far as like teamwork, communication, it sucked.
Yeah.
You could be a fucking,
Yeah.
you could be a beast, but if you can't work well with others, I don't want you.
And it doesn't matter how great you are as an individual because, cool, if your plate comes up first and no one else, well, guess what? Now you're sitting in the window dying.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to work with others and communicate. And, yeah, it's a big thing. Like we talked about earlier, someone's character.
Yeah.
We can't teach that. But we can train you how to do everything else, you know?
Yeah.
You
And,
can't teach character.
no, and you can't. And that's the hardest thing.
Well, it's compassion, dedication, the willpower to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And then occasionally being humbled.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, like, I mean, shit, honestly, like, that was my experience. You know, after I left community, I'd become extremely humbled, you know. I went back to a job that I didn't necessarily love, but where I knew that I was wanted and desired, and I learned things that I needed to learn.
Yeah.
I learned how to properly manage a team, to get these group of people who were not. We'll say that
Cohesive.
they scored a little lower than the rest of us sometimes.
No,
right?
no, I know what you're saying.
It's like if I can get this group of people to work together, I can get anybody to work together.
Oh, yeah.
And it took me being bumped down. It took me being humbled and being sent back for me to learn these lessons. You know, I was not happy about it, but I do think that it was something that I needed.
Well, and
I think it made me a better chef.
it sounds like you got something that you took out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It helped you grow. And that's all that really matters is, growing, nonstop. And it's like consistency in food. We want everything to be consistent.
Right.
Well, it has to get to that point. And like you said, being humbled allows you to get to a point to make yourself better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool to
unfortunately,
hear.
Some people, they get really in their heads about how awesome I was one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was the shit.
I think we all have that moment, though.
And then something happens and the universe fucking knocks you down a peg.
Yep.
And you are humbled. And I think that people need that. I think that people in the world desperately need that. Like, you've got to be humbled. Like, if you think you are the best thing in the world, you're not.
Oh, nice.
And the universe is going to remind you of that eventually.
Very quickly, too.
Yeah.
And not always in the nicest way.
No, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
It's going to suck.
I still remember when I left my personal recipe book out, and you looked at it and like, what the fuck is this? And it was ingredients, measurements, and at the bottom what it should look like. And Josh looked at it and goes, "The fuck is this?" I was like, "A recipe." He's like, "That's not a fucking recipe." I was like, if you know the techniques behind every single ingredient, you know the name of it, you know what the last outcome is, you know how to make it.
Yeah.
And I was like, here, make it.
How did it turn out?
I don't remember.
I
don't know.
But that's the way
Tell me.
But that's the way I write recipe books for kitchens. I want someone that walks in off the street.
Yeah.
If Quaid walked into my restaurant and I said, "Hey, make this," that recipe book, that plating manual, better be on spot where he can make everything, not have to ask a single question.
That's how I write mine. I don't leave mine out for two reasons. One, because I'm embarrassed that people might find it, and two, because my god awful chicken scratch.
Oh, I looked at it. I was
it
like,
looks
what
like a 5-year-old
language
wrote
is
it.
this?
Yeah, my handwriting fucking sucks, which is partially why I think I don't do inventory anymore, because y'all just got sick of interrogating my fucking interpreting my
been kind of
hieroglyphs.
lazy to do it.
Yeah, well,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, that will see your panna cotta recipe has made it to
Dude,
my personal recipe book. So thank you for that.
Dude, it's the easiest thing in the world to make.
I can't make it.
I do like that it is one of those things. It's versatile, right? So to make a vanilla panna cotta is nothing. It's literally cream, sugar, vanilla bean, and fucking gelatin. Right. But then to take that and make it into something that's extra, I think that's where it really shines.
The elevation.
When I do, a dreamsicle panna cotta that's split diagonally, orange and vanilla, with shanty cream and pearls of bourbon and fucking edible flowers. It's like, okay, now I've taken this thing that's...
Damn, I want that.
I know, it sounds really good.
For real.
It was badass. It was badass.
Okay, I shit on him for his twills, but his pearl technique is A+.
I took... It was literally Jim Beam bourbon. I mixed it with water and sugar.
This man does a hell of a pearl necklace.
And then I pearled that.
Did you do an oil or...
Sodium alginate and
he did legit
calcium chloride.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
With the dripper. Yeah. And I made,
Sorry,
they were badass.
As soon as you
And
said Jim Beam, I had a thought of a bad night. I was like, fuck.
Right, yeah.
I was like, you said to me, I was like,
that bourbon, it cut those tiny little bubbles of bourbon cut right through all that cream and sweet.
sounds
I bet, yeah.
And it paired really well with that orange flavor that was in there. It was fantastic. It's one of my favorite dishes I've ever made.
Now I just want Orange Julius. Damn it.
But yeah, that's all shit that I just taught myself too. I was like, I need to know how to do that.
Yeah.
I need to know how to make pearls of bourbon. I need to know how to make pearls of balsamic or sriracha or whatever.
I don't know how to do that.
Dude, it's easy as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either, actually. I have one thing I want to learn.
Get you a basic molecular gastronomy kit on Amazon. It'll come, dude. Honestly, seriously.
I skipped that course. I was like, you want to go get drunk?
It's like you measure out your liquid by the gram.
Okay.
You want to make sure that whatever liquid you're trying to pearl isn't too high in calcium, or it won't fucking work.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just gonna be.
Yeah.
You've created a monster already.
I didn't do nothing.
Just tell her no. Just look her in the eyes and go no.
Not that anyone can see this, but there's
a dog.
Yeah,
there's a dog.
Give me a toy. Hold on.
It's a land shark.
She's playing. She's not gonna do it.
Come here. You're dumb.
That's what you got.
You're adopted. But yeah, I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about.
Molecular
Which is something I never got into.
You measure out your liquid by the grams. I think it's 5 milligrams of the calcium or the sodium alginate. You mix that, you blend that into your liquid, and it's gonna get thick and goopy kinda. And you pull that up into a syringe. You drip that into a water solution of It's just water and calcium chloride.
Yeah.
And as soon as it hits, it forms that membrane. The
No
hard part
shit.
is getting a perfectly round drop, right?
Because you got to do it slowly, right?
Yeah. So a lot of mine would come out like a little elongated or something stupid,
Wait,
right?
no, like
it's hard. It's something. It takes practice. You
Yeah.
gotta keep doing it in order to get that perfectly round pearl. But it's fucking cool, man.
No, what if
I
you
gotta
like
ask
that.
you.
I love that
The
technique
David's
on
drop?
just all sorts of stuff. What?
Is that the one, the David's drop where it's like you do it with glass and it's like unbreakable unless you break the tail?
Oh, the teardrop? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
the David's drop.
Prince Charles? No, Prince Williams.
I don't know. I don't
Prince
know.
Albert.
Prince
I mean,
Albert. It's one of those.
I'm a fucking knuckle dragger. I don't know. Like,
what were
I've
you
heard
saying?
it before.
Have you used your culinary skills, your skill set to impress women?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I have cooked meals. Look, I can't. This is supposed to go on YouTube. I have cooked meals that have absolutely gotten me laid.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I don't have a lot going for me. All right, I'm funny, I'm smart, I'm talented, but like in the looks department, I could maybe be a little lacking. So like, I make up for that with like, hey, look, I make amazing fucking food, and honestly, that works.
You know,
It don't take much, dog.
I didn't have to do borderline Michelin star shit for it. My homemade hot wings.
Homemade hot wings.
That's all.
okay.
Hot wings.
Really, out of all things.
Do you remember that wing flavor that I wanted to do when I was at Community?
Which one?
The pickleback wings.
Ooh.
I wanted to do brown sugar bourbon pickle.
Let me
wings.
guess. That worked with somebody.
No, but I made them and they are delicious.
Okay.
Bourbon, brown sugar, and pickle, oddly enough, makes a really good wing glaze.
No shit.
Yes.
I swear to God.
Okay.
I mean, you ever had a whiskey shot with a pickleback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same vibe.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does it actually
You
go
wanna-
in layers though? Like, do you actually get the different? Okay.
Really?
Okay.
I don't know why it works, but it works.
How stoned
Josh,
are
that's
you?
like 90% of my point.
I mean, all the time, but like, that's irrelevant. I feel like
That's like
It was
all my
good.
food that I make that both of you give me the weird side eye for.
It was-
everybody's like, "Oh, it's good."
It's one
like,
of those
yeah.
things. It's like I took
It's
something
weird, but it
that
works.
already existed. Like I was like, all right, I like whiskey shots with a pickleback. I
Sissy.
like that flavor. I don't know why it works, but it does.
Okay.
How can I apply that to a savory dish? You know, fucking wings, bro. Wing sauce. It's the easiest thing. in the
I just
world
can't
to
believe
make.
that it travels with you. I thought it would all be one time and kind of a mishmash of flavors, but
You gotta balance it right. You
Of
don't
course.
want it too pickly, and you
Yeah.
don't want it too like bourbony. You know, you need to balance that just right. That's where that brown sugar really comes in. That little bit of
a
sweetness.
little bit of
Yeah.
molasses to it.
To
Yeah.
sort of balance out the acidic whiskey flavor and that
I can see
pickled
it.
taste.
Okay.
So that sugar sort of balances two out, but like, it fucking works.
I'm gonna knock it, but I would definitely try it. Yeah, I would definitely
Good.
try
this,
that.
This is like
I'll
a
let
decent
Quaid make it.
question to ask the
there you go,
chefs.
Quaid. You got to make that
Well,
sauce.
so this is a decent question to ask the chefs. Like, do you intuitively know? Like, can you explain how to get where you have like not only the flavor like layer on a dish, but also like where it brings in a
It's-
specific aftertaste? Because like you, at least both of you, have tried like my sweet heat chicken, where it's like, oh, this is really sweet and savory, and then it gets hot at the very end, and like, I cannot quantify how the fuck I do that.
It's
But I know
just
my
about
spice
knowing
blends.
it's about knowing your spices and your
Yeah.
flavors and
Yeah.
your palettes and your
I do
combinations.
my blends by smell.
So like,
You need to read.
There's
Yes, read.
No, I'm like,
Okay.
tell me.
He has the book, and I saw it over there. The flavor Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, the flavor. Well, I have the Rub Bible.
No,
no,
the flavor, Bible.
Yeah,
breaks
Flavor
down
Bible.
all of like
Like-
I mean literally almost anything you can think of. Like,
Dude, it's
if I look
fucking
up
crazy.
if I look up salmon, I can pull that page up and then it's going to tell me every single flavor
that pairs,
that
well.
pairs well with salmon.
Okay.
Right? And then like I don't
Pay attention,
know if it's
line
even
cooks.
on there, but like fucking apricot or something. And then so you okay, well I know that apricot goes good with salmon.
Okay.
Well, now I'm going to look up apricot and see what goes good with apricot.
Okay.
Right, and then you can build a flavor profile by doing that, and
Okay.
you can go, okay, now how can I make that work in a dish? And you can say, okay, well I can do an apricot glazed salmon with fucking whatever. Right?
And then you look for contrasting flavors.
I'm literally just pulling shit out of my ass right now. So,
But no. What you're saying is exactly it.
yeah,
Like, you get the flavor combination you want, and then you contrast with it. That's how you make a really good dish.
And then you balance.
When I was
That's
front of
pretty
house
much it.
at my first job, I worked in this diner that is no longer there. It's fully disappeared. It was in Lawn, Texas, near where I grew up, and I worked there over the summer. I was a server there.
So out in the middle of nowhere.
You literally no, you literally
when I
go down
heard
the
Lawn,
highway.
Texas, I hope so.
You don't go through Lawn on the highway. You go past it. Population
what?
775, something like
I think
that.
I've drove
Okay.
past it too.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
come on.
Probably, I know he has because he got a ticket not far from there. But like,
Called out.
yeah,
I had been sent out to
San Angelo.
Is this when your belt was going out and you?
no, that was
coming back
a
to
different
Florida.
story, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'd gotten sent out by the account that I worked at to go help out in San Angelo, Texas, where San Angelo University is. That's actually where I'd cooked for
My mom's alma mater.
I'd cooked for Governor Greg Abbott and all the Texas representatives while I was there.
Good old Hot Wheels.
And I did like a 950 person plated dinner.
Nice, man.
Not me, but obviously
Yeah.
a huge
Yeah.
team of people.
No, just
Right? No, absolutely not.
I did this.
Yeah, no. I was
I'd
a
be
very,
panicking so
very
hard.
small cog in the wheel. I was sent there as support, and so I went there and I just followed
At that
orders.
point, look, dude, you're humble about it. You literally said 950 people, and I was a small cog. A lot of people would have said I did that myself.
Mhm.
I
Dude,
was a star of it.
No, absolutely. I was a very small part of a very large team. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, 950 people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Like, even in terms of, like, people that do banquets and catering and, like, you'll see 300, 400, 500 people. And it's like, okay, like, that's fine. But then when you start getting into, like, 600, 700, 800, 900 people range, you're like,
on.
this is a lot.
Your first day of committee, what happened? First week of committee, what happened?
We did
Private event.
We did. I mean, that was the anniversary of the brewery, I believe.
No. It was
No?
the Frontier Airlines, a random Tuesday event where 1,200 fucking people showed up.
Oh
and this
my
Josh was like,
gosh.
"This is my first day." I was like, "Oh, we're
Oh,
fucked."
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
I was
But,
like,
catering is also
they-
sort of my bread and butter. Like, I know catering.
he looked at me and goes, "Dad, hey Rob, this is not stopping." I was like, "We gotta keep going, bro. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
keep going."
It's gonna get done regardless.
You know what story I recently told on another episode of the podcast was the story of Burger Fight.
Oh God.
We were standing out. Under those tents, 130 degrees under that tent.
Dude,
with the
like-
Oh
grill
yeah, you
and
were
the
yeah.
flat
Tell me
top
about that.
going.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God! Like they would give us fucking beers. Like these are non-alcoholic. They're
The Nadas.
Yeah, they were hydrating beers. They had no
Okay.
alcohol, so they actually gave electrolytes back. They gave us one cold. 5 minutes later, it was hot. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
room
that.
temperature
It
hot.
was. I
And
don't know what month that was, but
It was fucking
August.
June.
yeah, dude, it
Oh,
was so.
in June that
it
bad?
was so hot
June-
outside out there in that beer garden.
And each
No, thank
each
you.
tent had a flat top,
And a grill.
a flat top, a grill, and fryers.
Yeah.
And it was
That sounds miserable.
Yeah,
it was like,
I-
8 of us.
Yeah.
I stopped
8
the week
separate
before that
tents.
because I made the Dr Pepper barbecue,
Barbecue
sauce.
sauce,
And when
yeah.
you brought it back.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that too. Yeah.
You were making it for the wings, and you came to me and you let me taste it, and I went, "This is really familiar." What? And you're like, "Oh, it's the Dr Pepper barbecue sauce." I went, "Oh,
Do you
plum.
remember, dude? I mean, God.
It
That-
needs plum."
We did. Okay, so that was a really cool event. Like, despite how miserable it was, like we did a really cool slider. We, we pumped out a bunch of them. It was hot. It was miserable, but
Yeah.
we raised. I think it was like $43,000 for
Yeah,
people.
we-
Oh no
living,
shit.
43 grand.
Living with MS.
43 grand, meat fight, great as hell. We
Yeah.
all got heat stroke.
Yeah.
It's great.
I wanted to throw up in the walk-in. I went in at one point. I was so.
Oh, that'll
hot.
give you. You'll
All
I
of-
sat in
all of
the
us was
walk-in.
you'll go straight into shock
Yeah,
if
we
you do
were
that.
steaming, bro.
There was no other choice. Like every other team had at least one team member that
Dropped out.
dropped
Yep.
out.
Yeah.
Like literally, like had an EMT next to him, patting him down.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I've been there before. I worked an event out in Van Alstyne, standing in front of a Blackstone and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where you drank so much water that you threw up because you were overhydrated. You couldn't do anything about it. And it was funny. My mom, out of all people, when I got home, she's like, "Chug a beer real quick." I'm like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Chug a beer. The yeast in it, the sugars in it will help." Lo and behold,
No shit.
the beer brought me back to life.
That's crazy.
So I'll say thank you, Mom, on that one. One of those life lessons.
So you got a ticket in on your way to San Angelo.
Oh yeah. I'd gone out
circling
there to
back,
help
huh?
with that event. I forgot. If we sidetracked for a second, I went out there, and on my way out to San Angelo, I was like on the way to the hotel that they'd put me up at because they'd already paid for the room and everything.
Yeah.
I just had to show up and check in. That's it. And
It's
on
simple
my
as
way
possible.
out there, I was speeding just a little bit.
Well, you're going down, what, 35?
I have no clue,
It
bro.
would have been
I was in the middle of nowhere. What is that?
Oh, it's one of those.
Texas.
Dude, I was,
Yeah,
I was
no
out in
idea.
the middle of West Texas.
Yeah.
East to west. It's
There was nothing out there.
BFE.
there's nothing.
But yeah, I got pulled over on my way out there, and I got a ticket for speeding. And then because I'm there to work an event, right?
Yeah.
I'm there for a week to help out with this event, right?
A week?
A week. I was there for a
Jesus
week.
fuck.
They put me up in the hotel for 6 days.
there ain't shit to do in San Angelo.
No,
But drink and get into a
there was
bar fight.
one good restaurant.
Was there
And-
any good bars?
Man, I was at a hotel, so I
They
just
have
drank at the
alcohol?
hotel.
Oh,
Okay,
the
cool.
hotel bar? That's
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
good
I
idea.
was like-
I was given.
I
Like
was
a
making
per,
sure.
I was given a per diem.
Yeah.
which was
Nice,
really cool.
okay.
So
Smart
they put me
choice.
up in the hotel. They were like, "Here, you can have X amount of money to spend every day on whatever you want."
Thank you, per diem, yes.
And I spent that on alcohol.
I don't blame you.
No,
But
you're
then
wise.
every morning I had to get up at like fucking 4:30 a.m. get ready and be at San Angelo's. I think it's State University.
yeah.
By like 6.
I don't miss those days.
I got
Yes, I don't either.
I got so wrapped up in the event and with work and all of that stuff that I forgot all about the speeding ticket.
Well, yeah.
And then it was years later
Oh, shit.
that they sent me a postcard and they were like, "Hey, there's a warrant for your arrest." And I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
I
and
should
you
probably."
called me
My bad,
about
guys.
it, and
Yeah.
you were like, I have a.
I don't even
speeding
need to know where
ticket
this
in
town is.
Ballinger. And I was like,
Ballinger?
I was like, Ballinger.
So I eventually had to pay that off, but it's fine. But
Right.
I got sidetracked with work and I forgot.
Yeah.
It's kind of a week-long event with 950.
It-
Yeah.
I was a little tad bit fucking busy.
You think?
You're opening up a restaurant.
Oh, yeah, in the middle of that right now.
Y'all open what in like a month?
August 1st, we're going for a soft opening, so this may actually come out after.
Yeah,
You know, we
probably.
open up. So right now, this week is going through small wares, trying to call people to get interviews. For those who haven't opened up a restaurant, it's controlled chaos. I mean, I spent the day today seasoning cast irons, seasoning the flat top, getting things laid out. Got my chive oil already working. All my, do a little bit of Calabrian oil as well. So getting those all set up for a little R&D. But love to have you guys down there too.
Yeah, I plan
Rob,
on coming
please,
to. I plan on coming to check out your kitchen.
Yeah, no, that'd
How
be
are your
great.
crawdads?
Maybe we'll film a little bit of footage there and hang out in your kitchen for a little bit.
No, that'd be awesome just to have you guys down regardless
Yeah.
too. We were talking about earlier about learning from others, just to have eyes
Yeah.
on just the layout.
Despite how I feel about Cajun people.
Well, and which is fine. We're not going to talk about that whatsoever. My biggest thing is looking at flow.
swamp flow. Just
Free
swamp cuisine.
Free labor.
Swamp cuisine.
Damn, you really gotta say it like that.
He really doesn't like it, and
No, I can make gumbo, and I can make look. I can cook
You can
Cajun
make
food, and
gumbo.
I can cook Cajun food. It's not that hard. I mean, anyone can figure it out.
it's just the Trinity. Is the only difference.
I will make you my fried gator barbecue sandwich sometime. You'll
I
fucking
will.
love it.
I will not eat gator.
Yes, you will.
Why?
I won't.
Listen.
What
you
if I-
said- No. You swore you would
Just
never
don't
eat
tell
venison
him what it
again,
is,
and then
just
you
eat
ate
it
my
some-
venison.
Well,
balls.
and I'm grilling gator too. I'm not actually going to fry it, so I'm doing something different with it.
What else you got on your menu?
So we're doing of course, New Orleans style barbecue, which
Okay.
it's not. People think it's barbecue sauce. No, it's Worcestershire based. A little bit of lemon juice, some shallots, of course.
good.
Switched up my salmon recipe, so still doing the bourbon glaze on it, but I'm doing Brussels sprouts sautéed with some lardon to kind of balance out the salmon with the bacon flavor, if you will.
Could I suggest fried Brussels?
I was thinking that too.
Bro, there's not much in this world that's better than fried Brussels.
Now, do you have or do you shave?
I either half or quarter.
Okay, but that's what this week's about. It's about R&D. So I said come down Thursday when I actually have
Dude,
product
one
in.
of my favorite dishes, and it was something I kind of pilfered from a previous restaurant I worked at, but they'd done this fried Brussels dish, and it was so good, and it's like
I love Brussels sprouts.
it's fried Brussels that are like quartered,
Yeah.
with goat cheese, a hot honey vinaigrette,
Oh, yeah.
dried cranberries. I don't even remember what else, but shit was fucking so good.
Well, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. You know, we're
Right.
taking classics, just elevating them a little
Right.
bit. Yeah, I got chive oil, but you know what? Everyone loves a little bit of chive oil. You know,
Right,
it's something
right,
that's inexpensive that looks real pretty on a plate.
Sure.
Actually, the hardest thing is staffing.
Yeah.
That has been
Right now, yes.
it's been tough.
I
So
might know some people looking for a job.
as long as they're worth their weight, you know, we're
I
good.
wouldn't send you anyone trash.
Oh yeah, I know you wouldn't. But I mean, it's one of those where I had, you know, at first 10 resumes, hit them up, 5 set up for an interview, 3 showed up.
If you can pay him more of the community, I bet Quaid will come join you.
Well, after this raise he's got lined up for him, I wouldn't do that, especially Rob over here, because that's messed up. So
I don't know.
I mean, not right in front of the man. Fuck's sake.
no, but I've been lucky with good owners, and I know we talked about owners beforehand, but it's one of those where when I designed a kitchen, they just said yes.
Yeah.
They said you will get all these things that you
That's
want.
rad. Because most restaurant owners are infuriating.
And they are. And I've been very lucky with what I've gotten so far because of the fact that they realize we're all going for the same goal here.
Yeah.
And I've been a good steward of their money. I'm not saying I need all these things. Like, you know, we fought over the RoboCoupe, which, don't get me wrong, $1,200 for a RoboCoupe, but man, that thing's amazing.
$1,200.
Yeah, dude.
That's
I don't know if you know this, Quaid, but kitchen equipment is very
What?
expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy a really good AR for that. What the fuck?
Here's a.
It's a glorified blender.
Also, difference between a line cook and a chef, people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's
I'm not privy to that information.
Here's something that you.
Hey, that-
You know those tomato slicers?
Uh-huh.
The one you
You've
complain about?
probably used 1,000 times.
Oh, the slap
No.
chop?
My hand.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
But he hates because it doesn't
Do you know
work.
how much those cost?
$600.
About 400.
Okay.
How
Why
about
do you
this?
think, why do you think I'll never fix it?
You know the ovens at Subway? What are they called?
Yeah, I fucking love
The
stuff.
Turbo
That's where
Chefs?
I ate after MMA practice.
Do you know how much a Turbo Chef costs these days? About 20 grand.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That's on the cheap end, too.
Hey, that
That's
picture.
5
Hold on.
boom boxes.
It's a car.
The picture to the Vitamix that we have.
Yeah.
Guess how much that costs?
Just the picture.
Just the picture alone.
$83.
Not the blade.
Just the picture?
plastic.
$100.
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
$100 for plastic.
But it's a Vitamix.
Oh, okay.
Everyone
No,
knows.
No, okay. As a Warhammer guy, I get that.
The machine itself, the actual like base of it is about $1,500.
Oh, you're the nice Vitamix. That's a
For
nice
a
Vitamix.
Vitamix?
Yeah.
Vitamix.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Yes,
ass
sir.
immersion blender is $1,200.
Yeah.
sir.
Things are expensive.
Yes, sir.
So next time.
Next time that you think about not taking care of your equipment, I want you to remember these things.
Okay, no,
That shit
I
is expensive.
always take care of my equipment.
Good. If you see anybody else,
That little tiny immersion blender that I use to like do my fucking roasted tomatoes for
The
the
butt
marinara
motor?
sauce, you bet your fucking sweet bippy I baby that bitch when I wash it. Like,
don't
yes.
even get me started on the price of like a fucking full size Alto Sham.
Oh, I mean, we could go on for stuff that's ridiculously expensive. That's
Thank God
no
we got
reason
that
for
shit.
it.
Oh, yeah,
Bro,
I-
you didn't need an Alto Sham there, bro. That was the one thing. Like,
I didn't know what
if
that
I
is.
If I could have said bring in any one piece of equipment into that kitchen, it would have been a fucking full size Alto Sham.
Wait, what is that?
what is an Alto Sham?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
The big tall ovens that
It's
you
not-
could fit like 16 sheet trays in there. It does steaming.
Oh,
it
yeah.
does, it's an
Combi
oven.
Oh, is that
It's
what
a
we have?
combi oven.
Yeah, yeah, combi. Okay.
But they're what?
They're 20 grand.
yeah, they're expensive.
They're stupid expensive. You have to have a water line. You have to be underneath the hood vent. And if the one of your line cooks doesn't take care of it,
Yeah.
It'll go.
you'll go.
But dude,
Like,
they have self cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
surprised.
Okay.
Like all you gotta do is put the right number of tablets in that.
All the
And you'd be
really
surprised some people
fancy-
can't follow that shit.
All the really fancy fucking equipment that I got put in charge of at the dining hall when I worked at the university with Josh, the only one that I was like forewarned
touch.
on was the pizza oven, because right before I got hired there, some fuckhead.
The aluminum.
Yep.
What type,
Aluminum.
what type of deck did you guys have?
So there's this big brick pizza oven at
Like
the
a gym?
university. Yes. And it has
it
that
will-
big pipe in the side that shoots out fire. Right?
Yeah.
It
Will
keeps it
drive you
hot.
to hang yourself,
Right?
not
Really?
because of
Yeah.
the oven itself, but
I've
because the
always
way
used,
the
like, the
pizza
old
sticks to the
school
fucking.
throw
It's
in
not a wood
fucking
burning.
Wood
It's-
burning.
it's-
I've used
Yeah, no, it's not a wood burning.
So gas burning?
It's gas.
Okay.
And so there's this pipe that's probably this big in fucking diameter.
Yeah.
And it just shoots out this big flame off on the side, and that's what keeps the inside of the oven hot as shit.
Okay.
Right? Somebody had the bright idea
Oh, no.
of taking one of those pizza peels.
They're doing jalapenos,
And they
right?
had like some it was like bell pepper or jalapeno or
yeah,
something that they'd set on the pizza peel and they held it over that flame thinking that they could saute their peppers like that. And
melted the
that
fucking
that
aluminum
flame
tray.
is so hot that it melted that aluminum peel.
Yeah.
And it dripped down that exhaust pipe
Holy
Oh shit!
and ruined that oven. And the director at that location, he
Now director. He was executive chef at the time.
at the time, yeah. I think if that person had owned up to what they had done, he probably
Would've been a different story.
fired him. But they tried to deny it, and he
Oh,
fired him on the spot.
Just don't lie.
because
Just be
that was-
honest.
that was like a-
I fucked it up.
That was like a fucking
Yeah.
I don't know, like a $12,000 or $14,000 fix.
Oh yeah, like you're paying to. Yeah.
It's like a Hobart mixer. Yes, they're expensive, but they last forever. But if you,
that was an example in leadership that was set for me by Josh and Robert that I already did know, to be fair, but like the dude immediately under you makes it oopsie and they're new. And someone's like, why is this fucked up? And you, as the person who's training them or whatever, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I fucked that up, like, my bad.
Yeah.
And
Take
like,
accountability.
that's all that it is.
Robert would speak over me when I'm like, I fucked that up, and Robert's like, no, I fucked that up. And I'm like,
No.
I am Spartacus.
Yeah,
But
accountability
I
is
get to do it now 'cause I'm
important.
teaching
It's,
people.
you know, whether that's in the kitchen or outside the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, like take fucking, you know,
Own your shit.
yeah,
No.
own your
Yeah.
shit.
You
yeah.
guys earlier were talking about like
Absolutely.
being open to learning from other people, and like
Yeah, you have to
recently
be.
with like the new green guy we mentioned, and then like I have a really good friend who she has only worked cold side predominantly in the kitchen because the day we tried to train her on fry, she passed out from
Weak.
the heat. Well, she.
I don't want to
She
hear
takes
it.
medications that cause extra dehydration.
I don't wanna
and
hear
it's
it.
like a whole thing. Well, bless her heart.
Well, probably shouldn't be working in the kitchen then.
Probably not.
No,
Now with the
she's-
medication that
she's
you're on.
really fucking solid.
Oh, no, and don't get me wrong, but it's saying, but if you're working in a kitchen and working someplace hot
No,
and
no,
you're
no.
taking
Dumb needs to
medication,
drink more water. 100%.
yeah, hydrate or die.
No, like I've been training her on grill, and like while I am like you need to do it this way, and not just because I'm like this is my way, but because I have learned this is the most efficient fucking way
Yes.
to do it. I still watch the way she does it when she does it differently because for me as a former fighter, like as a martial artist, the core of martial arts I learned from my master was like it's not my art is better than your art, it's what can my art learn from your art. So like if she does something different and it works, like because you know it's never stupid if it works.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that.
Well, and it's like being in the military. We have so many ways of doing things. Well, guess what? It's standardized because we tried all those ways and they just don't work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yes, if you're going to bring something up,
The
please
rules
bring it up.
exist
but-
for a reason.
Oh yeah.
The rules
Like
exist for a reason.
she goes, what about putting lemon juice on the flat top to clean it? And I'm like, if
Too
you
much
mix
sugar
it-
content.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, like those
what I
sour
told her.
mix on there too. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
if
it'll
you
work.
mi-
but-
if you
Use
mix it with
vinegar.
soda water,
Use vinegar.
vinegar and soda water with a little bit of lemon, yes.
Or
But
just a high
we
temp
don't
grill
have
cleaner
access to
that,
anymore
you know,
because
that actually
we
works.
don't have
I've
a
always
soda
said-
fountain in the kitchen, so we can't do that
About the
anymore.
high temp grill cleaner, I've
Yeah.
always said, like, dude, there's gonna come a day in like 20 years where we're gonna be old, we're gonna be sitting on a couch, we're gonna see a commercial pop on the TV, and it's gonna be like, did you work in the service?
Or be the new
industry
Camp
between
Lejeune.
the years
No.
of
Yep.
2000 and 2030?
I hate high-temp grill cleaners.
And did you use high temp? You may be entitled to a settlement. Blah blah blah.
Hey,
blah.
at least you get a settlement though.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a settlement.
Yeah,
That's at the
$20
end of the
fucking
day.
dollars between the 6 million of us. No.
I'll take it.
No, like she asked me that when I was teaching. She goes, "Do you use the high temp cleaner?" And I'm like, "Fuck no."
Yes.
I do oil and a brick.
No, I like to breathe it in.
And
Yep.
I
Yeah, work smarter, not harder.
No,
Give me that high temp grill cleaner.
Yeah.
No.
I was like,
I don't want chemicals on my flat top. I don't want chemicals on the food I make people.
well, that's
Fuck
the
it.
thing. After you're done with the high temp grill cleaner, you're supposed to actually wipe it off with water and then apply a
Well,
thin
no, okay,
layer
like
of oil.
listen.
Yeah.
Bede
You're
got
absolutely
really
right.
silver that one time, but it's like a 12-step process with 8 different chemicals, and I ain't got fucking time for that.
No.
Well, I just
I'm
used
gonna
the, I
break
just
that
used the
bitch down
one.
and get it just as silver through fucking genuine American sweat and blood and tears.
And the next morning, I'm gonna make that shit dark when I throw some bacon on there to season. You know.
Yeah.
Yep, fucking
As soon
send
as
it.
it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
for a good
why I look
while
like
we
this.
were seasoning our flat top.
Uh-huh.
It just every now and then a piece would break off, or one of the line cooks like, "This is dirty," and just scrape the whole thing off.
Yep.
And I'm just like, "All right, well, fuck."
So
Anything coming up with community that is exciting? They coming out with any new beers? Any new menu items?
To be determined. I don't really have nothing in my mind right now.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Sitting in the whole. Well, you said you got that menu coming up.
I got the menu coming
Yeah,
up.
so that's a big change.
That's, actually starting
There you go.
tomorrow. Quaid is gonna be handling fistfuls of wieners tomorrow.
Nice. Well, it is Wednesday, so yes, it is his Wednesday tradition.
That's only because per food health safety, I'm not allowed to hold them in my mouth. So
Fair enough.
I mean, if they hit 165, it should be okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we do that. We do kind of got the girthy on sweet man.
That's true. That's true.
Man, it's been a good. I think it's been a good episode. I appreciate you coming to hang out with us. And
Yeah, it was
just
real.
kinda
It was
catch
real
up
nice to
and
meet you too. Like
talk
real
about
pleasure. Yeah.
What you got going on,
Guys, this is my boss.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah. If you ever want to, man, please feel free to join us again for another
Yeah, for
one.
sure.
And, you know,
Hopefully, we can bring my Sue out. And
yeah.
have that.
I'm gonna have
Oh
to
my
edit
God.
out every time she laughs.
Yeah.
Um,
No, dude, no. Okay.
She's got
It-
very-
it inspires
Very
joy.
distinct
Yeah.
laugh.
So you were saying very unique.
Dude,
Yeah.
like,
One of my best friends ever. Like I love her to.
you know, like they hit me with a pan full of homemade whipped cream. And you know for a fact when that stuff heats up, dries up, it's rank.
Uh-huh.
It stinks.
Real quick.
As soon as they hit me up, all right, I'm going home.
You don't
but
even eat dairy, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's even worse.
I am severely like hyper lactose intolerant.
Yep.
So I got
snort
hit in the
dairy?
face, and as soon as I got that, I just grabbed the nearest person and just smeared
Yeah,
my
as
face
you
all
should.
over them. They're like,
You
"Why?"
grabbed
I
the
was
right
like,
person.
and I was like, the person that hit me too, and I was like, I'm leaving. You're closing. Fuck you.
The best part of that is I was out there just having a cigarette, minding my own fucking
Behind the
business.
door, and Quay's just like there
And
smoking a cigarette.
I was
Probably
at
chuckling
ground
in the
zero,
corner.
and I fully got out of that bitch with no collateral damage. I didn't get a spot of whipped cream on
Oh,
me.
that sounds miserable.
That's
It
hilarious.
was fucking horrible.
I mean,
And the
yeah.
drive back home, I was just like, fuck this.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, no.
Do you have any final thoughts for anyone that might stumble upon this podcast and actually watch it? Something.
Always be humble. Always work together. I mean, Quaid works with me on obviously a daily fucking basis. I think I see Quaid more than anybody else in my life. My methodology for working a line, if we're slam down busy, work on your first 5 tickets together as a team. Other than that, build, push.
I like it.
And that's how we get out of shit.
Awesome.
That's
I
how
like
I always
it.
preach, and that's how I always go.
No backwards step.
At the end of the day, it's like push your ego aside, work hard together, because everyone, like Josh will tell you, I like dishwasher calls out, I'll be the first one there.
Yeah.
Nowadays, same thing. Dishwasher calls out, I'm the first one in there.
You're
Like,
the prettiest girl in the dish pit.
thank you, sir.
Well, awesome, man. Well, again, I appreciate you coming out to do this with us.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Always, man.
So I guess with that, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Close her on out.
Find us on YouTube at youtube.com/@moresalt.podcast. You can even find us on Spotify now. You know,
Moving up in the world.
For real.
like the videos, subscribe, you know, all those good things. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. You know, we reply to comments when we can. And yeah, catch us back in a week for another one. Stay salty, my friends.
Stay salty, guys. Good to see you.